All right, we are back with another Pick'em video. It is Monday, March 17th in the NBA. It is St. Patrick's Day as well. Every single year that comes to like a new holiday, like Christmas, St. Patrick's Day, I wish they did like the themed jerseys. I don't know why they went away from holiday jerseys. The Christmas ones were always pretty cool. The St. Patrick's Day Celtics ones were always really cool. Even like the Knicks and the Bulls, I think, also had some like greenish jerseys. But yeah, I don't know why. I think ever since Nike took over, they haven't done those. So I kind of miss those. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. But I have 4 plays for us in this one. I also got a couple plus money leans I want to talk about as well. So definitely liking the board. Big slate. Hopefully some value out there. And let's just get right into it. So we are going to go over the recap of last video. It wasn't since Friday. I didn't post on Saturday or Sunday. Just busy. Things came up. I was still active in the Discord like always. But yeah, no videos then. So we're going to go over the recap of Friday. We'll breeze through it because it's been a few days. Then go over the injuries. And then we'll hop into the plays for today. So if you're new around here, definitely go ahead and subscribe, leave the video a like, comment something down below. When you guys do that, it always tells YouTube to push this video out a little bit more, so I always appreciate that. Let's hop in the recap. All right, so jumping into the recap of the last picks that we made, it was Trae Young under his 25.5 points. He cashed for us pretty easily, only had 17. Evan Mobley over his 34.5 PRA. He cashed pretty easily as well. A bad read of the day was probably Harrison Barnes, just because they are obviously towards a youth movement over in San Antonio with Fox being out. Chris Paul doesn't need to play as much as he has. No Wemby right now. So going to Stephen Castle is probably the way to go. We talked about Castle in the video. He had a great matchup. His line was just pretty high, 19.5. But he had 26 points in that game. And then Harrison Barnes, I don't even think he played the fourth quarter at all. Didn't play much in the second half, but was looking pretty good. Just didn't get there at the end. And then Zach LaVine was back and forth on the PRA or his points line. Looking back, I totally should have just gone to the points line. He just crept over his 20.5 points, but didn't do much in terms of rebounding and assists. And that's because Sabonis came back. And really, since he's been on the Kings, the rebounds and assists haven't been there. So the points line was definitely the better read there. Again, we talked about it. Ended up landing on the PRA. He doesn't come through. So a 2-2 day, kind of a wash there. But yeah, totally new week here. And again, some good games. So let's jump into the injury report, and then we'll get into the plays. So going into the injury news here, we got a whole bunch like always, but going to try to breeze through as quickly as possible. It's already a little bit later in the day. It also kind of gets me thinking, like, I'm probably going to go back to my earlier morning videos, not like the late ones where I was dropping them at like 3 a.m., but going to try to shoot for like a 9 a.m. drop, 11 a.m. drop. I started transitioning to like the later afternoon or the early afternoon drops of the videos just because there was so much injury news coming off the All-Star break and things like that, and none of that's changed. And I like to wait to see like, okay, we're going to get more news on certain types of players. And I think the give or take between the loss in views for getting a video out later and getting a few guys back on the injury report or knowing a little bit more about who's on the injury report over those next few hours, you really don't know who's going to play until like 5 p.m. Eastern, sometimes even later than that. So I think the give or take there doesn't really make sense. So I'm going to go back, transition to the earlier videos. I think more people will be able to see it and enjoy it. So just keep that in mind over the next few days. But going over the injury report, we got a whole bunch, like always. Miami and New York, Alec Burks, Jokic still out. Andrew Wiggins is going to be a big game time decision here. He's been scoring really well for this Miami Heat team. And then on the Knicks side of things, Jalen Brunson still out with that ankle injury. For Detroit and New Orleans, we got Jaden Ivey still out. He's been out for a while. Yves Missi, Kelly Olynyk, Zion, all game time decisions today. We are going to talk about Zion in terms of a pick, so I hope he plays. But could be a pretty good one, for betting purposes in this game. I'm seeing a lot of pretty good edges here. I think a lean in one of our picks is in this Detroit side of things too. So just keep your eye on who's going to play for the Pelicans. Obviously, they're not playing for much this season, so I wouldn't be surprised if any of these guys end up sitting. Hopefully Zion plays though, because I think I got a pretty good read on one of his lines today. For Philly and Houston, a whole bunch of guys injured for Philly. Iman Thompson still out for the Houston Rockets. Kelly Oubre, game time decision. Quentin Grimes has been a beast, but is obviously a difficult matchup here. So a hard one to bet on for sure. Probably to stay away from that one. 15.5 point spread as well. For the Indiana Pacers and the the Minnesota Timberwolves, bunch of game time decisions here as well. Kind of a hard big game to bet on. Halliburton, Nesmith, Turner. We don't know who's going to play. Siakam's already out, so tough one to bet on there. That's going to be a later game to look at when we know who's going to play. And then Mike Conley going to be a game time decision for the Minnesota Timberwolves, who are getting a little bit healthier here near the end of the season. Chicago and Utah, we got Giddey, game time decision. He's doubtful. Doubt he's going to play. Lonzo's going to be out. Kobe White, game time decision, but probable should be ready to go. And then the Utah side of things, Lauri Markkanen begrudgingly having to play. His minutes are dropping for sure. And Clarkson, Keontae George, these guys are all going to be game time decisions. It looks like John Collins will be the starter that will be out today for Utah. For Denver and Golden State, it's a 4.5-point spread. Should be a good one. Bunch of game time decisions for Denver, but I hope to see Jokic out there. He's definitely someone I'm looking at for today. Aaron Gordon, Jamal Murray, Christian Brown, all guys are going to be game time decisions. Brown more probable though. Strother's still out. He's been out for a while. And then Golden State Warriors, we got Steph Curry on the injury report, game time decision. Quentin Post, game time decision as well. And then Pajemski's going to still be out for this Golden State team. Toronto and Phoenix, we got RJ Barrett quickly. This is a team I've not been betting on at all. You don't know who's going to play. They're in full tank mode. Even if Jakob Poeltl plays, sometimes he just sits the whole fourth quarter because if they don't want to win games, and he seems to be one of those guys that helps them win games, so they just sit him in the fourth quarter for that team. So for Phoenix, we got Bradley Beal, doubtful tag here as well. So kind of another game that's a little bit harder to bet on. 8.5-point spread. Is Beal going to play? Probably not. So it could be a good look at some of these other Phoenix guys. Hard to kind of cap Toronto right now. Washington and Portland, definitely a play I like in this one. Corey Kispert, Brogdon, Bay all still out. And then Marcus Smart going to be a game time decision. We'll see if he plays. Ayton still out for Portland. Jeremy Grant game time decision, but doubtful. He has not been playing much lately. And then Robert Williams game time decision as well. He's been on the game time decision report for a while now, and he continues to miss games as well. So I don't expect him to play either. Memphis and Sacramento, we got Santi Aldama, Ja Morant, both probably out in this one. Ja already out, Santi Aldama doubtful. And then Scottie Pippen Jr. also a game time decision, so could be a good spot to look at. Desmond Bane, Jaren Jackson, all these different guys. Jaren Jackson coming back from that injury. He's played a few games, I think, now, but just keep that in mind. He is dealing with that ankle injury. So maybe a look at Desmond Bane would be the play here. And then Sacramento side of things, Trey Lyles only game time decision, so they're relatively healthy here. And then finally, we got Luka. I don't know if he's going to play or not. He's a back-to-back situation here. Has been playing a lot of minutes when he does play, but hasn't played a back-to-back for like a month or so. Just keep an eye on that. Luka potentially a guy that pops up on the injury report, but as of right now, should be ready to go. LeBron's still out. Kleba still hasn't played. Rui Hachimura doubtful. And then San Antonio side of things, Bassi is going to be out. But remember, you got no De'Aaron Fox in this one. No Wemby, of course. They're not listed, but those guys are out for the season. So, that's all the games. Definitely a lot of them. Definitely a lot of spots I'm liking. But like always, tread a little bit lightly. Know who's going to play before you go super hard on a certain player. And that's what we got going on for today. All right, so jumping to our first play here. Like always, we're going to be using a tool called Props Madness. If you want to check it out for a free week, use my link in the description down below. Use code RICH. When you do that, you're going to get the free week, and you're going to get 25% off your first month or your first year. You're going to see how powerful this tool is, just seeing matchups and all those different things, all these different advanced filters. I'll let the video do the talking for you. But if you're watching it and you're like, I got to try this out, definitely check out Props Madness, link in the description down below. And we're going to start off with Malik Beasley. This is kind of a no-brainer for me just based on what I've been seeing from Malik Beasley. Doesn't need a whole bunch of time on the court to get this line, but I'm just looking at his 14.5 points here going up against a team that is a perfect matchup, spot up, transition, above the break threes, all those different things. And I'm going to do this very, very simply. This doesn't happen all the time, but just going to the first filter here, going to the dominant player type. That's going to be that spot up type of shooting, and we can go to teams that are ranked. This is a 28th ranked defense that the Pelicans are. They're ranked 28th in terms of spot up defense. Just drop out those top 15 teams. This turns into a 79% hit rate. If you want to get a little bit fancier with it, above the break threes, they're also trash defensively there. They're ranked 24th. Knock out those top 10 teams, still a 77% hit rate. And you can see a lot of green recently. A lot, the games that he was missing by a lot were at the beginning of the year, and then you look at literally the last 20 matchups or so. The only times that he's seeing this type of weak defense and he's missing on the hook against the Bulls and against the Denver Nuggets here. So pretty good hit rate. Not going to think too much about it. I think Cade Cunningham also in a really good position to dime the ball up. So very, very weak defense. It is a 7.5-point spread, so nothing too crazy. But Detroit definitely coming off 2 bad losses. Maybe not bad loss to OKC, but they want to get back on track. They're definitely looking for playoff positioning against the Milwaukee Bucks, against the Indiana Pacers. They want to be winning games and trying to get this home court advantage potentially in the playoffs. So Malik Beasley, the guy projected for 27 minutes, looking like a pretty good spot to get over his line here. And actually, you can see these last 2 games he's missed, only 23 and 19 minutes in these. So perfect matchup for him. Get the shots up against this weak defense. Pretty much overall. Transition, spot up above the break threes. It's all good things from Malik Beasley. This is looking like a no-sweat bet, I think, and a no-brainer here. 14.5 points for Malik. Loving what I'm seeing here. Next up, I'm talking Deni Avdija at his rebounds and assist line at 12.5. Loving what I'm seeing here. They did play each other back on February 26th. This is a game that we bet on him and he had 3 rebounds and assists, but he only played 6 minutes before getting injured. Now he's projected for 34 minutes. He's been able to crush this line in some of these matchups, and the thing I want to look at is really the minutes here and who's potentially not playing in this one. We already know Ayton's not playing, so that'll be the first thing I want to see. The minutes he's going to get. He's going to get 30 plus minutes, projected for 34. In those games, he's over in 53% of games. If you want to go to games without DeAndre Ayton, he's now over this line in 58% of games, and he's just got a perfect matchup for a lot of balls off the rim. This is a Wizards team that allows a whole bunch of rebounds. They allow a whole bunch of assists because their defense is so weak. But this is also a team that Deni Avdija played for within the last year. So kind of a revenge game. Didn't get it last time. Was playing really well in those 6 minutes, but ended up coming obviously way short because he only played 6 minutes in this one. So projected for 34 minutes, like I've been saying, the hit rate on this without these certain guys in this amount of minutes has been pretty good. The one game he missed recently was against the Toronto Raptors, but I don't really mind that. Even the last 2 games he missed, you can see the potentials here. He had 16 potential rebounds and 13 potential assists, so he did come up on the hook, but he had 29 chances overall. So, hitting at least a 50% hit rate, that would be an easy cash. And then the same thing for this one against the 76ers, 10 potential assists and 18 potential rebounds for 28 chances. I'm liking what I'm seeing here, a 12.5 line with that many chances. And then you can see some of these lines absolutely crushing this lately. I think Deni Avdija in a really, really good spot here. I don't think I have to look too far into it. You can see the certain assist zones for where he gets a lot of his assists right down low. They're ranked 23rd defensively in that area. 45% of his assists come from there. And then in terms of rebounds, similar types of players over in 53% of games. So nothing too crazy, but I really like the upside of his monster assist games and especially the potential rebounds he's been getting, rebound chances. 18 and 16, like I just mentioned. He could have an absolutely monster game. And again, you get the storyline of a guy going up against his old team, a team that traded him. So Deni Avdija, really liking this 12.5 rebounds and assist line. I think he could throw in his scoring as well, just not as consistent here, but obviously a really good position to score the ball against the Wizards. Really, anyone's in a good position. But I'm going to start with the rebounds and assists. I think that's the better line. Definitely a spot where he could crush this one. Definitely a spot that he could creep over. Hopefully it's not one of these games where they're just not connecting on the chances in terms of potential assists or the potential rebounds. But I'm liking Deni in this spot, like what I'm seeing from the hit rate. Move along to the next play here. It's going to be Nikola Jokic, and just going to his rebounds at 12.5. He's been hitting this very, very well lately, but this is a big game in terms of Western Conference standings. Pretty much all these games down the stretch are going to be big games for everyone that's not OKC and it is in the playoff race. Golden State Warriors definitely want to win this thing. The Nuggets are coming off a bad loss to the Wizards. That was a back-to-back set, but you never want to lose a game, drop a game to the Wizards here. So they should be ready to go. Nikola Jokic definitely is on the injury report. But with that said, again, all these games matter a whole lot. He's been on the injury report the last few games, and he continues to play huge minutes. The guy that I would be thinking would sit over anyone would be Aaron Gordon. He's the guy that's actually been missing time, and that'll be the first thing I show you. If Aaron Gordon doesn't play and Jokic is out there, you can see this turns to a 69% hit rate. Even in general, it's a 58% hit rate in the last 30 games or so. But he's been really, really hitting this lately. So if Aaron Gordon does sit this thing and Jokic does play, huge hit rate boost for a guy like Jokic. Then you talk about the matchup here. He has not gotten it in the head-to-head matchup. He only played once. 40 minutes, only 10 rebounds, only 15 rebound chances, but he's had pretty good history against going over this line against the Warriors, so that doesn't scare me too much. And if you think about the matchup right here that we've got going on, this is a team that allows the 17th ranked in terms of rebounds allowed. If you go positionally, and I don't do that whole lot, but for a guy that's a true center, positionally, they give up, they're ranked 28th in terms of rebounds allowed to the center position. So that's definitely going to be a good data point. If you want to just go to defensive rank positionally and giving up these rebounds, knock out the top 15 teams in the league, or the bottom 15, the top 15 teams in the league in terms of allowing center rebounds. Now we get a 65% hit rate. You want to get a little bit crazy with it and see the bottom 10 teams, which we're going to look at here with the Golden State Warriors, jumps to a 67% hit rate. So it's definitely a good spot for him to grab some rebounds. He's also playing away, which weirdly enough gives him a little bit of a boost here. I don't know if that's going to be hand in hand with the Warriors playing at home, because they could probably shoot a little bit better at home. Maybe something I look into. Not going to be too crazy, but good to see Jokic definitely picks up the slack away games. Maybe puts the team in his back a little bit more. 5 of the last 5 away games, even against these hard matchups, OKC, not the hardest matchup for rebounding, but the Celtics, Pistons are definitely a harder one. They rank number 1 in terms of allowing rebounds. The Bucks, all these harder teams in away games, he's been able to crush this line. So 12.5 just seems a little bit too low to me. Again, positionally, it's a good spot for him. Going up against the Warriors, you can see similar types of players, but positionally, a lot of the main guys are hitting their lines. So centers in general, 53% of them going over their lines. But you can see a lot of the backups, so the guys that are missing. Karl-Anthony Towns went over his line. Jalen Durham went over his line. Beef Stew didn't. Sharp didn't go over his line, but Claxton did. Mitchell Robinson didn't, but Mark Williams did. That's not the same game, but Mark Williams did. Nurkic didn't, so that's the same game. So again, another starter here. And then the backup didn't go over. Andre Drummond, the starter there, goes over his line. Mark Williams again. Batatse, not the starter in a lot of those situations. So the first guy you see that missed is Sabonis, and he hooked on a 14.5 line and just ended with 14. But then you go right back to it. Sengun, 13 rebounds on a 10.5 line. So a lot of starters are going up, or a lot of starting centers are going up and going over their rebounds lines. I don't think that's a problem for Jokic here. 12.5 rebounds. I'll definitely back the 3-time MVP going up against a team that's 4-point spread, battling for playoff positioning. Could be more of a playoff-like atmosphere. Didn't get it against the Timberwolves and the Lakers. He always struggles to get rebounds against the Timberwolves. Lakers also a very good team at not allowing a whole lot of rebounds. So I think this is a good spot for him. He's been crushing this line, especially if Aaron Gordon doesn't play. Not too much else to say here. Jokic 12.5. I think that's looking really good for us. And then before we jump into our last official video pick of the day, I do want to go over a plus money lean as well. I do ask that if you got to this point in the video, leave the video a like. Comment something down below if you got an extra second or two, and subscribe if you are new. It always tells YouTube to push this video out a little bit more. Also, definitely read the description down below. There's plenty of ways to get into my Discord for free. So if you want access to a cool community right off the bat, but also access to all my plays and slips for the different DFS platforms, straight bets, all those different types of things, check out the link down below. You can sign up using my DubClub, or plenty of different ways to get in for free if you sign up for PrizePicks, Underdog, Sleeper, Betr, Chalkboard, any of those different platforms. They always give you a cool promotion using my code. Just check what the code is and get a screenshot of it in use. Comment something down below or hit me up in the free part of the Discord. Say, hey, I use your code, and then have that screenshot ready to go. And I'll start a DM with you so we can confirm that. So that's how you do that. And yeah, we'll get back into the play. And to round out the day, it's going to be Zion Williamson over his 6 rebounds. That's what I'm going to find it at. You can find it at 5.5. It's pretty juiced, but it looks like PrizePicks has this at 6.0. So this is a place that I'd find it. If you want to play it at 6.5, I don't really mind it there either. But you can see he lands on 6 a whole lot. So I don't mind the push potential with a decent potential to go over here. And you can see why in terms of the matchup, why I like this. So in terms of his matchup, he's got the number 1 rebounding team in the league in terms of not allowing rebounds, which might seem like a bad thing, but for a guy like Zion Williamson, I think that also means that their interior defense goes hand in hand with that. They're ranked 4th interiorly. Against these good defenses, he's a guy that grabs a whole lot of offensive rebounds. So he can corral his own misses, and that's just going to be a rebound for us. So if he's getting deterred at the rim by Jalen Duren, whoever's down there, the Pistons kind of play team basketball, but definitely funnel towards Duren. That's why he picks up a lot of fouls, but also pretty good defender down there. So if he's going to be missing down low and grabbing some of his own rebounds, that's just going to be a plus for us. And you can see in the hit rate, in terms of these defenses interiorly, opponent ranked, I don't know if I can find that, not restricted area. Dominant scoring type right here, that's going to be the filter. These top 10 teams, you can see his hit rate on his rebounds, 83% of the time he's going over this 6.0 rebounds line, and a lot of these he's clearing 6. So yeah, didn't get it against OKC. He only played 26 minutes in that game in a blowout, 28 minutes here in a game against the Kings, but in every other game, easily either pushing this one in this game or crushing this line in a lot of these other games. And again, I think it's because he's gobbling up a lot of his own rebounds against these tougher defenses inside. And whether he's putting it back up or in, we don't really care. But if he can grab an extra rebound in there just on the offensive end, that's going to be a plus for us. So 5.5 seems a little bit too low. If you find it, I mean, obviously it's juiced. 6.0 is where I'm going to play it at PrizePicks. If you want to play it for plus money at 6.5, wherever you find that, looks like DraftKings has it at plus 120. I think that's also a good way to play this. The only thing here is that Zion is a game time decision. I don't know if he's going to play or not. He's not game time decision because of a injury, though. It's a personal reason. So we'll see what happens there. If Zion doesn't play, no harm, no foul. But if he does play, I think we're getting a really good value on this line. Again, just to kind of clarify, this is going up against teams that have a very good restricted area defense, which is what we got going on with this Detroit Pistons team. And again, I think that's going to be, in turn, a lot of offensive rebounds adding to his rebounds total. So doesn't even have to do much on the defense rebound side. If he gets 2-3 offensive rebounds, that'd be awesome for us. And he's definitely able to do that sometimes. So maybe Jalen Duren blocks one of the shots. He corrals it. That'd be fine by me. Or they're just to turn him at the rim and you can gobble a little bit of his own shots up, whatever it might be. So Zion, liking his rebounds line. I think a lot of them should be coming offensively, and that'll be a huge boost for us. But maybe this Pistons team is continuing to brick some shots, and Zion gobbles it up that way. 5.5 just seems way too low. We'll see if he plays or not, but if he does, liking this line a whole lot. And then before we get out of here, I want to leave you guys with a plus money lean here, and it's going to be Deuce McBride over his 2.5 3-pointers made. He's done it in 3 straight games. He's got an okay matchup, especially spot up shooting, going up against this Miami Heat defense. He played them once already. He actually had 2 threes and 3 threes already against these teams, but he's projected for a decent amount of minutes. Obviously, Brunson not in here. I'll show you the amount of minutes he's projected to get. Projected for 36 minutes in this one, so should get a whole bunch of time on the court. Even just seeing games, he's over 30 plus minutes in these games. Again, no Brunson. This is hitting at a 62.5% hit rate, so obviously loving to see that. Add on the potential that a lot of these are coming from spot up. Probably handling the ball a little bit more with Brunson out of here, but even with Brunson out of lineup in that much time, he's over this in 3 of the 4 games. So I like this spot for plus money, plus 130 for 2.5 threes. He's been getting up the shots too. 6 threes, 7 threes, 5 threes, and then 9 threes. Hitting at a good clip here, but also I guess another susceptible defense for spot up shooting. I think Deuce in a pretty good spot here to knock down some threes here. So plus money, 2.5. Nice little lean here for Deuce McBride, and you should get a whole bunch of time on the floor. So that's going to do it for us. Just a quick recap what we talked about this one. The 4 official plays are Malik Beasley over his 14.5 points, Zion over his 6 rebounds, Deni Avdija over 12.5 rebounds and assists, and then Nikola Jokic over 12.5 rebounds. Also talked about Cade Cunningham. I didn't go into the play exactly, but a nice little lean here at 9.5 assists, or double-double, whatever you're getting better value there. Kind of goes hand in hand with Malik Beasley scoring the ball, but he's got a great matchup to score the ball. I could actually be looking at a Cade under. I'm not going to do it because he's got a good matchup to score, but I mean, when he's had really good assist potential, he doesn't always hit his line in terms of his points. I like his assist potential in this one. And then Deuce McBride for the 2.5 threes. For the plus money, I don't mind that lean at all. So that'll do it for me in this one. Good luck with all your bets. There's definitely a lot of games, definitely going to be a lot of value out there. I'm going to be looking at the board the next few hours, getting more slips out to the Discord. So again, if you're interested in getting access to all my plays, check out the link in the description. There's a step-by-step process of how to get in for free. There's a bunch of different ways to get in for free months. So just read down there, sign up for Underdog, sign up for PrizePicks, Sleeper, Betr, any of those different platforms, Dabble. I attack a lot of that different slips each day for each of those, and then obviously some extra straight bets in there as well. So if that's interesting, definitely check us out. There's also a community aspect on top of that where we're always talking sports, talking props, talking different plays. We have seasoned chefs in there that share their own slips. We got some guys that are really excited for March Madness and basketball. I'm also going to be making a March Madness bracket challenge, so you'll be able to get into that. I'll probably link it in the pinned comment for people to join, but I don't know how I'm going to make it. It's probably just be exclusive to the RichClub, so the people in the Discord, the premium part of the Discord. So if you want to join that, definitely get into the RichClub today or tomorrow, so you can join that. But that'll be a fun, cash prize. I'll just hand that out for you guys. Should be a lot of fun. So thanks for watching. Good luck with all your bets today, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, probably at an earlier time. I'm going to go back on the earlier uploads rather than these later ones. So excited for that. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.